My mother needed me, and I needed Summa Home Care. I had a lot of questions, and they had all the answers. Summa walked us through the application process all online, so it was private, easy, and convenient. Now I get paid to take care of mom, and great health benefits too. She may need me more down the road, and Summa has skilled nurses, so I know as things change, Summa Home Care has my back.
Summa is an accredited and Medicare certified home care agency. Get paid to take care of your loved one. Call and apply today from the comfort of your own home.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك
Them. This na Morenike. I welcome una all to your road show today. Again, me na Morenike at the North Carolina. I glad we una able join we. Me other two co-host them. I sorry for tell una, but they all them na people here the road. They not great tell me what thing them do, so I not get time for go bail them. As soon as I know, na una can't force. So I'd say this show they go on. I know they go bail nobody today. However, today I get one fine girl with the England. When now we guests, when they can tell we plenty thing them. But that disease where we all know when them sickle cell. Before I do all that one day, I get 2-3 thing them for member on about. One, una know all same way they tell una say we get one girl where in 7 na this year road show. But in Canada, we write one book. The name of his book now, Our Miracle Baby, Dare to Believe. And me don't kind of this show once of them, where he don't can tell me about this book. When I miss same one be interview him. When you read that book there, if you're not possible not get faith, you don't get faith. I tell you, and that book there, you don't need for be Christian, you don't need for be Muslim, whatever religion you be. You go get faith or you go begin get faith when you read that book there. You go laugh, you go cry, and the book available. You can get them on Amazon, down there we get Kindle, you can download them on your Kindle, and I saw it cheap when I see the price, right? $8.79 if you want to do it on your Kindle. If you want the paperback version, $19.99. And that book there, I tell you now, I don't get them, I don't read them. In fact, I read them back for the second term. That's how much I enjoy that book there. So do you fumble them, let we support them. In name Lucia, and itself na KDU member within Canada. All that thing what I want for show, also what I want for tell una, na KDU, Florida. Member, we don't tell una say that they turn 5 years this December 1, 2, and 3. Inside Jacksonville, now then they get to that celebration day. They don't tell whether they tell we say do ya una come. And don't forget to now this same KDU Florida, now then they host the the global family reunion next year, 2024, Labor Day weekend. So this year, this December, where they go there, now they go show we all waiting and don't plan for we. They don't promise we say we go get bitters, we they get obiata, we they get all them you eat them, you name it. They even don't promise say we go get then they go cook they go get alligator, gator meat for like me we request them. So I dey go eat gator meat when I go there. Fumble them on let me support them December 1, December 2, and December 3. Also, we get KDU Ohio. KDU Ohio now another global chapter. Of course, then they Ohio. This then they get business make us see November 11. It happen in Columbus, Ohio. Then get lunch on sale. Now from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Una where they Ohio, do ya una go support them, una reach out to them, then get the flyer them where then they put out, una go on them Facebook page, all that information they did. November 11, from 2 to 8 o'clock, down at KDU, Ohio. KDU, North Carolina, that's not the one with me there. We know they don't know. This December, we they get we annual 9 lessons and carol. This year we dey do am December 9. December 9 and it will be 3 o'clock with 9 lessons and carol we can do every year in December. And I believe say go dey na Zoom as well. So other than not able to come, do ya una join we na Zoom, 9 lessons and carol. We need una for help we sing. All them fine carol them wanna can remember back home when they begin sing all. And the service will be in Creole. So do ya December 9, KDU North Carolina, 9 lessons and carol. Now I don't done with all the information then day. Let me come to this lady when I am now we guest today. Una when they watch the viewers them, do ya una invite other people them, let them come, let them sign in one time because I know I make them miss waiting this lady get for tell me today. Instead of one fine girl. Anytime me and they talk, now so you can smile. Anytime I see her on Facebook, now so you can smile. And again, when a not new to front camera, this is not thing where it don't use because all time then they interview them, all time they a live BBC shows them, una they can see them. Plenty of una know them. And la bring and come if I lie. Miss Iyamide, you hear me, ma?
I hear you very well, Moranike. Hi.
Wonderful. Welcome. I'm glad you able to join me today. And I want to make you tell Fumble them who that your full name and also you day right now what we they talk so.
Okay, Pambule Unadu. Her name Iyamide Thomas. I get other name then. You know, say Creole then can get the Yoruba or the Ghana name, and then they can get the
What's the
other
name
one.
and the full name?
One me other name now Welsh, Glennis. Not ask me how because not to even Wales me that I study, but Glennis now me other name. It's Welsh. So I'm glad for day as I say. Me na Creole, I born a salon, believe it or not, I born a PCMH. I don't think say that hospital they still get a name the Princess Christian Mission Hospital. That's what the name. We may be born, but not. I think the name don't change. I don't forget that all that during. Anyway, sometimes one of you viewers go put on the chat waiting that hospital
I
they
hope
name.
so.
Yeah. So I born a Freetown, and you know how Creole then can align to the different villages. You know, most of the Creoles then are liberated African, and then village then they resettle the liberated Africans. So me on two village then were aligned to na Kisi on my daddy side and Godrich on my mommy side. Now, when I'm young, we're gonna go Kisi Church, St. Patrick's. I don't know how, all the way up the hill, na Kisi village.
Yeah,
Now
me
that's
you
eh?
a joke.
No, no,
Really? Because me
yeah.
go St. Patrick's, na Kisi I grew up.
Well, so you not be small picking.
Sure. I'm sure.
So I tell you, be young because we move commodity. That's tell you by the time all 14 or 15, the journey been too long across town because we tap, Smart
Okay.
Farm, Cochrane first and then Smart Farm. So after that, we move go Cathedral. But first time we been able to drive all the way to Kisi up that hill, And the time when we been able to go then a Reverend MGM Cole. I think line up in the Reverend that
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not Kisi. Then where we can come out church, you go find all them family them, we there's some family them there. One me auntie, me daddy in family, one me auntie all thinking where felt hot. I should say it be very hot inside that heat. I'm telling you, you know they all felt hot. You know you get that image.
Yes.
You you remember these things. All
Wow.
auntie or
Yes.
she better find somebody where you know okay wearing felt hot. Okay, so then what we can come out today now. You know that you know this visiting people then at the villages, not them
Mm.
they liberated after that tradition where people them they do with them come out
Oh
church.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Me
then,
self remember
then
that.
yeah, and then things
Going.
have said that they the name Creole come out. I mean, they go into Creole now, even though that Sickle Cell with the talk.
Oh.
Akirio,
Mm.
like Yoruba for those that wander about and you know eat or something like that. And then Phil say
Wow.
Akintola Wise, the historian, Phil said the name Creole was, you know, like a derivation of Akirio when a Yoruba. So if any Yoruba I invite one actually one me paddy for come on, but not to Yoruba, but you know, he's saying they talk Creole, so I tell her like come. Yeah. So then Godrich, we may go there, you know, New Year's Day. And then
Mm.
me grandpa, me or me maternal side. I didn't bear.
Mm.
So and again we can go to the older auntie and my grandpa and sister, you know, that bodos. If I then took them they for be honest, that the two key them then there I can really go inside bodos, Creole bodos, that the village them.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah. So I've been there and I got the was, you know, even though not
Yeah. Now
today.
that's what you were asked. Eh.
Yeah, I mean I wogan, you know, I got the was up to
Okay.
O level, up to O level.
Okay. Mm.
Me and my cousin or my mommy inside, my mommy and sister in daughter and my first cousin. Now there we go, but we parents then we mommy then with our sister, then go FSSG, you know. So
Okay.
we did a detour, you know. We did a detour, you know. But I go FSSG
Mm.
nursery, so I suppose I can say I go FSSG
Yeah.
nursery
Yeah. Mm.
before I go primary school. I go FSSG nursery, and then I
Okay.
go Leon Prep or Bata Conchona, so they can call them because you
Mm.
know like I'm in Europe. Then I do my O level now, so Leon before I come here, and when I'm
Mm.
here I'm in UK, I do my sixth form in England, but not to London. It was out of London. So in one or two Sierra Leone, it was boarding school. So one or two Sierra Leone and then did as
Mm.
well, which was good because you know at 15 you they come over. You know, I mean, I'm in a kind land
Yeah.
before, but then for the first
Yeah.
time that they left you won, you know, they kind of thing, and they're away from
Yeah.
home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one or two Sierra
Mm-hmm.
Leoneans have been doing at the school, you know, and we all
Okay.
bonded and all that. Then I do university in London because you know I was
Mm-hmm.
out of London for a few years, but you know I can London. My brother been in London that 10 days. So yeah, I do university in London University. After a while you don't get out
Okay.
of it, you know, all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then my background are chemistry. Not of you know, me daddy
Okay.
na medicine I do. But you know, me as a bit the first time where I dissect rat, but because I did biology, chemistry, and physics. I think me daddy remember say I could go in that direction because we been get a practice, GP practice na Sierra Leone, Trelawney Street. Now they first living there. And growing up,
Mm.
I just went back to the history. Trelawney Street, of course, that because of the Maroons, you know, they get a
Mm-hmm.
parish in Jamaica within Trelawney. But growing
Yes.
up, I had no idea, seeing that so the history of that street. And I didn't practice initially, you know. So all this thing there around me, they
For that
grow up,
one,
you
for
know.
that one, we want for no. Tell we back beside Trelawney Street today.
Off it's actually up opposite the law courts. The street where in the opposite the law courts
Okay.
near
Okay.
Guma Valley building, me that in surgery, the opposite Guma
Down
Valley
there.
building.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's really what's in the name now? Lamina Sanko. Nine name Lamina.
Okay.
Yeah, nine name Lamina Sanko Street. And then they off Westmoreland Street again when after the Maroons, we become
Mm-hmm.
Circus Stevens. So all this history, they you know, growing up
Mm-hmm.
around all this history.
I
Then
want to believe say then street names then they don't change. For the viewers the way they watch, if you know the current name of the street, then they wanna put on the comment here. We will come
Mhm.
back and watch them. But most of the street names then they don't change. So
From the oh yeah, no, definitely. Oxford Street,
yeah.
I grew up no in Oxford, so I don't know it's in Andy, in water. Yeah. That's on that street and they don't change. But the key one Westmoreland Street and Siaka Stevens Street, you know, the main
Okay.
road. Then, you
Mhm.
know, come here and you know, sixth form, university and all that. And then like chemistry I end up they do anyways. I mean I you know, because growing
Okay.
up. But then in my work life, I think because I grew up in a medical house, I've always done one for they do, things where I mean, medical and science. A science stream. I'm in the annual, so it's just that I'm not being fancy going to do medicine and blood. And as I say, we dissected a rat at biology, and that put me off for life.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
yeah, we dissected a real rat. That's this biology where they do na salon, not only biology where they do na yeah, yeah, right,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So that I just thought, no, that can't, ugh. Anyway, so but I do chemistry, and then I'm in the strongest subject. So yeah, and then my first few jobs have been health promotion. Working within what
Okay.
was the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Breast cancer. The first proper sort of job was breast cancer screening, raising awareness of breast cancer screening, because now in
Mm-hmm.
England they get a screening program for breast cancer where they try for detect early before you start feeling a lump and all that.
Yeah.
Early
Mm-hmm.
detection means better treatment. That's what they get in America. Salon,
Oh, yeah.
no,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, no, no. But then they raise awareness in the salon because even on Facebook today, I see them do a walk, a well woman walk, for
That's all.
for breast
Okay.
cancer. So so
Wonderful.
early detection is good. Then I coordinated a national screening trial actually in the UK. So that made it take me going around the country. Did a lot of traveling, even though I'm based in London at TAP, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
I do then sickle cell. I mean, again, I've been one begin to do things way more relevant to Black people. So I know better than you know,
Yeah.
sickles. Raising awareness of things where even when I do the breast cancer awareness before I begin to coordinate the screening trial, and I've been a geographic area we get a lot of Asians and they know they go. Because in we tradition and when I say and we culture, we never go look for things too early, we're afraid.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke,
Yeah.
don't fix it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we know when they can say come for the test, let me see if they get the signs of any sort of one goes, yeah, I'm symptom free, yeah, I know they go find out and begin worry.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not in our
Exactly.
culture. So
That's
we have to sort of
yeah.
make people that are aware, say, look, early detection helps, that sort of thing. Then
Mm-hmm.
yes, I don't only work with the Sickle Cell Society more year. In fact, I work on sickle cell before going to the Sickle Cell Society. So I
Oh,
worked with a
okay.
yeah. I don't get at the Sickle Cell Society for almost 19 years. With this UK, it's the
Wow.
national charity, the Sickle
Mm-hmm.
Cell Society UK, that the national charity now
I
for
get
sickle. Mm,
I get two questions for you. One, I dey
mm,
carry you go back. Then I dey come
Okay.
back to the sickle
Mm,
cell where I get question for you. You
mm,
mentioned say you grew up in Kisi for a while. Which part
mm,
in Kisi una been there? The reason we make I dey ask you
mm.
that, I will get plenty viewers them wey come out Kisi. Where I know say them are Kisi people them. They all go they ask now, say which part in Kisi been there?
No,
So I dey ask
I
you
don't
now
tap
for
na
them.
KCO. I don't think you
Oh,
hear
not
you. I say we
tapping.
may come on smart farm.
Okay,
Go all the
okay,
way to Kisi.
okay,
That make we move
okay,
church because it was so far.
okay.
Yeah. So
All
you can
right,
imagine
all
that.
right.
No, no, I don't ever tap na Kisi. Na me farm bull and me tap.
Okay.
Me daddy in farm bull. Yeah.
In
Yeah, not
farm of them.
yeah, I
Okay.
know ever tap.
And
I know
you know
ever
say a
tap
busybody.
na village, because and it's a different life, when you tap na
Oh yeah,
there,
it is. It
liberated
is because
African village there. It's a much
I
different
grew
life.
up in a kitchen.
And when I joined like the KDU, because right now, I'm a member of KDU, Creole Descendants Union UK and Ireland,
Mhm.
right now. But
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
when I joined KDU, I found a member of KDU London, with that been the
Mhm.
precursor to this UK. And from there,
Yeah.
when people then can they reflect on their life in a village, say the morning, they can put it in the window, ooh, or something like that. That was new to me.
Yeah.
Me that
Oh
I
really?
respect
You
for
don't
you.
know that.
Listen, let declare to you viewers them, as also some of them know. Because they go
You
say
know,
I
you know,
respect for
Garrett
you.
Creole.
Eh? Me that I
Of
respect for
Garrett
you.
Creole.
What in I call we of Garrett? What did I
Of
say?
Garrett Creole. Of
But
Garrett Creole.
okay, so I learned a
Yeah.
lot
Mhm.
from the KDU meeting. Because you get people and they will traditionally grow
Yes.
with their grandma or grown
Mhm.
up village.
Mhm.
They talk about life there, which is very different from the other what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a bit like, let me give you an analogy. The university where I go, King's College London, not to a campus university, because the university is all the learning buildings in the center of town, and then the hostels are stayed in the halls of residence. They are away, and quite get that sort of campus life and community life as going in a campus university.
in
As
the
I always
campus.
say, even Frabe College, I always when I can hear it, the life now Frabe College, I can wish they have been do 1 year a day just to have experience. No, seriously. But there you go. Yeah, I left before me A
Yeah.
level. So yeah. So
No,
that's me.
village life good to a point because like I say,
Mm.
I grew up na Kisi. Few
Okay.
months ago, I do a talk na Yard Road show where they talk about communication back
Mm-hmm.
in the days before cell phone and all thing.
Mm.
When person die in a village,
I think I watched
usually
that
you know how
today.
the news is scatter.
Yeah. I
One
think
of
I
the
may
ways
watch
where
that.
the news is scatter, where they begin toll bell.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
think I
said
may watch
begin
some of
toll
that show
bell.
there. Very
Yes,
interesting.
people
Yeah.
they all the common and all man they begin
So
ask who that
yeah,
die.
I see.
That
I've been watching that show.
village life street so
Very
very
different. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Then I suppose you go
Oh,
see where
that's like you
and then put the
go
curtain.
ahead.
When person died and they put white. Well, that and they said you can put white curtain.
Yes, with the
The
cottage. Yes,
and all
yes.
that.
All
That's
that.
nice tradition.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
village
nice
life. Yes,
tradition thing.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
Then
nice.
I want to ask you, what that's now you daddy in Fambul them na Kisi?
And one be named Auntie Osh. I met somebody recently where I tell her, I say, wait, me, I don't begin forget to lie to tell you that one. But I remember
Oh,
when I
yeah,
tell
no,
somebody, say,
I
I
feel
grew up
bad.
now. Oh, I don't remember who that. I think I don't, hang on. I think, no, I don't know if not the president. Then get a group now when are Kissitonians. We name
Okay,
Kissitonians.
okay.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if Naim have been the tell. I think, no, Naim in fact. I think that the president of Kissitonians have been the tell. Now we KDU launch on sale. We I tell them and I think I tell somebody we know them people then one be named Auntie Oshu, I don't remember his surname. One have been Auntie Boivi. We Wise. One of them his surname have been Wise, I think, Auntie Boivi. They
Wise.
get
Okay,
Nigerian connection. One been
okay.
dry, so and one been we can always go to them after church and that as I said, I was only about in my early teens that ended. Then again when I've been to talk to somebody about Godrich, so all them village now, I don't know when I get in America where all the village they get
The
association.
Olga Association. Yes, oh yes,
You
they
know
did
get
all
that?
over. Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Because Godrich then said, "I'm not joining. No, no. I know I spend myself two thing. I supported one the other time, but I not join. Godrich then self get, and I mean, they talk to one the girl we what they call when I tell her if I give me the update myself, but some the descendant family then I Godrich, yeah. So I know them, because the village I mean small. Then I don't know about now, but in those days, not a big, but
Yeah, I
all
think
that
there's
you don't
still
think.
small. But the good thing is when the different association and they form, then I hope, then they raise money for help the villages them or the school them or whatever association for help them back home. Because I mean,
Mm.
if we not help them, would I go help them?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
mostly
So
like
I'm
that
glad the
now.
only association and they form.
Mm.
But okay, now come back to you. You dey tell me say so
Not okay.
they,
Mm. Go on.
you what bring you come now? You say you don't work with the Sickle Cell Foundation
Yeah,
or
society.
office society for 19 years now. Why
Mhm.
them? What bring you come to them? Waiting at the thing we make you for them that I would today.
Okay. As I say, the first thing we've been doing a breast cancer screening, raising awareness of breast cancer screening. Even that's only what I've been doing another place. So I say a lot of Asians and a lot of black people have been doing another place. So and I did a bit of sickle cell there as well. Then just the whole idea of a condition where mainly they affect BAME, black and ethnic minority people. Then just I had that interest, I get that interest there. Then I been they do a magazine, me and some colleagues in Man of Vision. Again, I'm going right back after the 1997, all the war in Sierra Leone. Some of we do a magazine in London, I win a Man of Vision for update people and I've been go I want to do something on health. Maybe they do health in there. So I go one event where the Sickle Cell Society do. for cover
Okay.
that events day. And funnily enough, that events day, they are now say then they get a whole new project where you go get 5 people based around the country for work directly with people that were affected by sickle cell. That'll be a new project with it. And I remember I thought, oh, that sounds really good because the previous work it was a grant we been done. So that's how actually I just apply
Okay.
for that in the. In fact, I mean, they travel to America around the time with them, they do all the shortlisting and interview. So I tell them, say, but I want me, when I can interview me in America, but me not they change me. Me not they change me planning
You
because I not tell
schedule
me
or
who send the
anything.
interview again. But they wait, I go to America. I thought, okay, then before me to be on the phone. But then when I come back, they're not be done do South London, way in a meal. So they call me, go for the interview. And the rest is history, really.
At
So,
that time, you be know much about sickle cell.
not well, only a bit of working with the side where I worked at the black breast cancer screening bit. I've been there for obviously read up a bit because sickle cell, but really even grow now Freetown, yeah. I think that one person I've been no say get sickle cell when growing up in Sierra Leone.
Mhm.
But then when I don't know about sickle cell now, and I dey reflect to me primary school days,
Mhm.
one of my classmates then, he definitely had sickle cell because he can
And
come, his
sickle
eyes
cell.
is so yellow, all time he day off. And I just say to myself, I wonder if he's still alive.
Mhm.
I don't think he's a Facebook,
Mhm.
but you know how you be. I said that's that guy they didn't get. Definitely, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Very dark, all the symptoms. Yeah, we were in
Mhm. You
class
both thing
together.
get them.
But you don't, then this and the, I say I knew one person for sure because that day, I mean, but I didn't have any friends and you did. But, as a child, 12, 11, 12, you don't really know. But
Yeah.
now I know, say
Yeah.
that person, they were good primary school. With. Definitely that's what he had,
Mhm.
that's what he had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that we not be no much going up. We not be
Yeah.
no much about sickle cell.
Mm,
I
mm,
remember that bring me on case cam. I
mm-hmm,
remember when I've been there, I think I've been just done from 5 or maybe from 4. I don't remember. I've been
mm.
dry when I've been there tongue. I've been dry,
Remember
dry,
that picture
dry.
where I
Me
show
mama,
you? Yeah, I know. I don't say you be dry. Remember that picture where I show you? Where you mean
I
the act?
remember, yes.
Yeah.
I want me the tabule, yes, I remember.
Mm,
Well, I've been
mm.
dry past that.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm,
Just imagine, I've been dry past that.
mm-hmm.
Me mama so concerned and can me go do blood tests and all thing. I come out way back
Okay.
then.
Mm-hmm.
Then they say for come back on another day for the results. Na me go, na me they send, come me mama been get for go work and all. I go for the results, then tell me say na sickle cell. I know one day I don't know what's in a sickle cell. What kind of host na me granny ask me, waiting and say, waiting and say. Not tell and say, then say I get sickle cell. You know, say me granny reaction. Lord have mercy.
Wait, wait till they
Straight
tell you.
away,
Okay, go on.
straight away, I know say na something bad.
How
But
much
I
you
don't
say
want
you
to
be
hear
old?
about
How
them.
much you say you be old?
Be either they from 4 or I
Mm,
just go from 5. I
okay,
want for say maybe from 4.
okay,
But I'm not old enough where I'm kisi.
yeah. Mm,
And so I know say I'm still in school. Now when I don't left from 5, now that 10 they will go tongue. So I know
yeah,
say either
okay.
from 4, from 5. But
Okay.
I be
Mm-hmm.
old enough where them send me for go take the results. What tell me granny now, Lord have mercy. So at that point today, I know say na something bad. I don't go ever forget that. But later on, I can begin hearing about the sick and so many things the way at the hearing about that sick the way. I mean, good. Not to think the way you want for hearing. So as a child growing up, I not be happy with that news day. But all I remember again now, that same day they begin give me folic acid. Every
Yeah.
day I did drink folic acid. Until I come America. But we will talk more about that.
Mm.
Tell me, make I ask you, tell family them, what's in a sickle cell?
Okay. Okay. Because myself get a question. I get a question for
Okay,
ask you based on what you just say because
okay.
of let's do that now. Because
Ask me the
yeah,
question.
because when
Ask me
you
the
tell me
question.
say you get sickle cell, for some people they can mistake full blown sickle cell with trait. You know
Yes.
what?
Now
Yeah,
later on I learned that. Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now the trait target, not only
Yeah,
disease.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Then
Yes.
can mistake that with the trait, but yeah, and the trait self that carrier we can call her. But let us see
Yes.
if
Mm-hmm.
I don't know wetin una able see, but I will show you audience then. Okay, sickle cell, first of all, okay, I remember for thinking Creole. Sickle cell then call am genetic condition. Yeah, genetic means say you dey born with am. Yeah, the catch am where you dey halfway through life. Genetic means say you born with that condition dey. And the genes na the codes na your body where they give you tall, you short, you na dey define all your characteristics. Now people that we born with sickle cell, then get a gene where they affect the hemoglobin at the blood. Hemoglobin are protein at the blood where they give blood a red color, and they carry oxygen around the body. Yeah. Normally with blood cells then round, you see that thing where you been show. Let's see if I can hold this up. Okay, yeah, you will see and they okay, pull
Yes.
that one
Yes.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. You blood cells and are this sort of shape, round like this, like a donut, or the other way they drink donuts, yeah. Now, people that we get sickle cell, when the hemoglobin and blood they go around their body, they give up the oxygen. As I say, hemoglobin and your blood, they give blood your red color and they carry oxygen. When your blood they go around, they give up the oxygen. Normally, if you not get sickle cell, your blood cells for remain that round shape they go through, they flow easily. But if you get sickle cell and the type of hemoglobin, what they call sickle hemoglobin, your blood cells and not they remain this round color, sorry, this round shape, then they turn to a half moon banana shape like this. Yeah, I think people you can see this, yeah. Then they
Yes.
turn to
Yes.
this half moon shape, and this half moon shape you have very difficult going through your blood vessels, and they begin or get stuck and make traffic jam going through the thin blood vessels. And that's now they cause severe pain where some people going to say in crisis, very
Mm-hmm.
bad pain. Now that pain there as well, they stop the oxygen, from going to different organs and all that because of this sickling. They call it sickling, yeah. And when that they happen, apart from the crisis where you will get, the organs being deprived of oxygen over long term, they start degenerating and damage. So some people that can get major organ damage with sickle cell. And then also the third thing where they happen with sickle cell, they half moon shaped cells then they not they last as long as the proper round cells. They get destroyed more quickly. Your normal round blood cells might last 100 days before they replenish, but the sickle cells only last about 20 days. Then they're destroyed, and so you're lacking in blood cells, and then you they be anemic. So now that make you get one form of sickle cell when it's sickle cell anemia, because people get
Anemia.
very anemic because they don't get enough blood cells. And when that blood cells and they destroyed, the liver they give out a substance, yeah, within bilirubin, and at that they cause the yellowing of the eyes. If una don't see people that we get sickle cell, with them very anemic, their eyes they yellow, the white of their eyes they yellow. The only reason why their skin might have a very painting, but because most of we black, they see that yellowing of the skin, but rarely
Mm-hmm.
all their system yellow. So you see it in the eyes. So that's not the thing. It causes like blood condition, inherited blood condition, where they cause severe pain, organ damage, and anemia. You get different forms of sickle cell. One is sickle cell anemia, or you get sickle cell, where they call sickle cell beta thalassemia. You get all kind different forms of sickle cell. Now, how the other thing I want to tell you now is the sickle blood cell. Then I don't know if you're able to show that. Waiting up in the next slide, just for let me see. I'm not sure if you just scroll. Okay, that all right. The go before the
This
yeah.
one.
Exactly. So this just to show you what I describe. Say the blood cells. Then you see the top blood vessel. Down there, you see where the round blood cells and they go very very smoothly. The red bit gets blood, but as soon as you begin get them funny shape one, then at the bottom diagram, you see say the blood now don't stop for go all the way through, and they deprive oxygen. So what I describe now in that if not be an animated slide, we will see am, but this now is still slide. But at least when I can see what I just described. Okay, the next one. make I tell you now how una dey how now our person they get sickle cell. As I say, you they born with them. We all get genes, and each of we get two of these thing within two codes for the hemoglobin or we blood, yeah, the type of hemoglobin where we get. Now, every time where we get a male and a female get picking, the man go pass on one of a hemoglobin genes, the woman go pass on one of a hemoglobin gene, so that the baby himself will get two. Yeah, each of we get two genes for hemoglobin. If you know a trait, the normal gene for hemoglobin named hemoglobin A, the one for sickle cell named hemoglobin S. So I don't know how much people they see this diagram, but I will talk to the diagram. Now, if you're not traits, you're not AS, you get this gene, you get one A, you get one S. You know they get as much, you know get symptoms as such, yeah. But you get some of you bloods they sickle, and I will say a bit about that. So when two people that win a trait, we get AS come together and get picking, there's a 25% chance say them picking will be SS because the man go either be S gene or an A gene, the mama will either pass on an A gene or an S gene, and you work out the probabilities. At each pregnancy, the chances of that couple they getting a child with sickle cell are 25% chance. The chances of that couple they getting a child with a trait like you, Morenike, now 50%. Yeah. And then same couple and they win a trait, they're able born picking will not get non-sickle cell gene. That's 25%. So at every pregnancy, if how the dice, just remember how the dice is thrown. And you can get families, we get four picking them with sickle cell. But so now that make we know by say 1 in 4. First time people can say there's a 1 in 4 chance. That's a bit misleading because the people that can remember say, well, don't get me one picking, we get sickle cell, and don't get forget more. And then they end up with 3. You see what I mean? That every pregnancy there's a 25% chance. That's very important for talk that. Yeah, say,
Yes.
at every pregnancy there's a 25% chance. Then I don't know if okay, let me talk whose area that they get sickle cell because mainly we know say now people that we come out Africa, the Caribbean, Middle East, Mediterranean, India. Basically people that we look black.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's not a source of stigma. But me go explain to you now why the
Mhm.
prevalence of sickle cell seem to be amongst more black people, right? Now,
Mhm.
the carrier status or traits. Yeah, if you say you're not carrier, I mean say you get one copy of the S gene
Yeah.
or trait. Africans we tend to know more about traits than carrier, but now UK now that carrier than it. Um, the if you not been carrier, the area the way where sickle cell spread around the world is the same spread as the malaria belt, sort of around the equator, West Africa, go India. And the theory is that people that women carry one copy of the gene when a trait, yeah, they may get some protection against malaria. Yeah, because say malaria they attack the blood cell, they
Yeah.
parasite the malaria and it goes for the blood cells, right? But the
Mhm.
one that when a trait we get some of that trait person and they get some sickles, the sickling where I mentioned earlier, but not as much for affect you like also we get a condition. And so that
Mhm.
they may able they destroy the malaria parasite quite quickly, people with that trait. So they had a better survivor of malaria than people that we get full blown sickle cell, then when they die, in historically. So the gene now, people that with then things say the gene, genes we codes they evolve according to environmental, for protect environmental, and then things say that chemical change in the gene now been because of this malaria, all to do with this malaria. And so the one that when a sickle, we been get with their own genes evolve, they survived and meet other people with sickle with traits and they're able to procreate, and that's how it spreads now the malaria area. So
Okay.
protection against malaria, basically. So now that I can use for take away the stigma. Say, look, it's not a black disease. Yeah, white people they get them because I'm
Mhm.
involved in the screening program. If I let tell you now how person they get, I don't tell you now how they get them. And
Mhm.
also for for point out, because I mean they do a lot of outreach work, and the man, I don't know if any men there on the thing, but they go watch it later on.
Oh,
But
then
we
they
have the man and they listen because
listen.
because a lot of men, and listen, and I wear no share. I mean, they go around to barber shops. We targeted barber shops so that we go target the men or tell them, say, please go and get tested. I work for the UK get a national health service screening program, right? Where they invite pregnant women. It's antenatal and newborn screening. When you're pregnant, then they invite people that can the mothers to be or come for the test. Yeah. If the mother to be they carry the gene, one copy of the gene for sickle cell, then they call now that's then they call the papa. Because if the mama not get the if the mama not AA, you not get the gene at all, the baby
Yeah.
not go, the baby not will get sickle cell. So there's no point calling the dad. But if the mama not carrier or trait, then they invite the father to be for can test. And when I've been beginning, only about half of them they come. When they don't invite and say, "Come, oh, you baby mama to be get the traits," then all they come. Now that's it. They get for go out of the country. Now that's it. They work all 19. I mean, I know they have for bash the men, but and they bash the there. So we've been there for go around and target barbershop. I did a lot of stuff. Me and I then
Oh, wow.
I created a team of retired sickle cell nurses. We go barber shops, we go and I make sure say the NHS, so we go then barber shop there anytime. And I be a package, we go there and give a little bit of money for refreshments. So we go feed them. They go sit down. I get one picture where they watch me, they talk the and inside Kentucky fried chicken packets they eat. I can always show that when I go out, where they do presentations. Say, look at how attentive them man they are be,
Oh,
and we able increase the uptake of the screening test quite a bit, after with all that outreach and as more people get aware of it. I tell you, one man, that is on the thing with them and they tell me when I can go around to the shop. One time he saying they go gym, not get it traced. I said, what does that have to do with going to the gym for God's sake? I go to the gym, I don't have the trait. Yeah, one other side
wow.
where I go, one college, and that college I had to call them Bobo because I find out say they're Sierra Leone. One tell me how immune system na hardcore. Ah, I almost
Lord, and people there. So,
after that.
really?
So but it's all to do with not being aware, not and I find out say that Bobo wait tell me that na Sierra Leone. I say you can't. Then okay, no say me that Sierra Leone because me locks and all that. I say you can, and all that. So yeah, it's a matter of raising awareness, and when you raise awareness and tell
It
people,
is. It is.
but a
It
lot of
is.
people feel guilty. A lot of parents feel guilty because they feel they
Mhm.
passed it on. And that is sometimes the stigma. So the nurses go out and give the results and all that and visit people. One, they can tell me the stories of what they happen. Once they go look after these newborn babies, the nurses and they follow them up. When you go, I think that me in Nigerian household, now the woman, the mama open the door, just had the woman into the kitchen, say, come. And so the nurse, they wonder, make her go see this baby no. And this night tell her, say, oh no, one in relative they visit from Nigeria. And no saying picking get sickle cell. So do ya let them not go, they let them not go talk, they let them talk in the kitchen. This
Oh, yeah.
this happens. This happens. I don't know. We really must remove the stigma and shame. Other
We do.
conditions,
We
there
should.
lots
We
of
should.
other conditions, genetic conditions there. Way,
Mhm.
but it's just this thing of sickle cell and black man say, you cost me. As for another thing, I make one me paddy send me a whole load of Ghanaian myths around sickle cell. You'll be shocked at some of the myths. You really would be
Really.
shocked. Oh yeah. You will be shocked at some of the story then saying that cost this person away pregnant, all kind of thing. But let's just go back a bit and must tell me when you want to take a commercial break,
Yeah.
Morenike. Let I just talk the
Okay.
complications around
Mhm.
just a few complications around sickle cell because they're very, very debilitating condition, really. The painful crisis, all man know that. Anemia, all man know that. But some people can get leg ulcers. They stand the chance of increased infections. During COVID, we been get something now we name clinically extremely vulnerable group. We prioritized for the vaccine. The sickle cell people were in that group because they were vulnerable to
Mhm.
infections. So we do a campaign for increased uptake of the COVID vaccine. They can get kidney failure. One a lovely a young man at 16, he would have been 16 that year. He gets liver failure and was in hospital and couldn't get a transplant and sadly passed. There is just so much. Anytime
Oh
with blood,
dear God.
it's a complication.
Mhm.
It's a really debilitating condition. There's no doubt about that. They go for hip replacement. Young people, you there say get hip replacement. Young children can get stroke from it. Because of stroke
My
now.
God.
Yeah, a stroke is a blockage in the brain. That's what a stroke is. So anytime with the blood they go and then turn the shape and fasten, that's trouble, really.
That's it. Yeah.
So and the
Speaking of,
crisis, the crisis when me the service user they can describe the crisis, they use all sorts of things. Uda say it's 10 times more than the labor pay with and get it's like a hammer being hammered, nails being hammered. All man they describe someone young client say it's na like when you jam your hand in now when you hand passing a door, the mistake, all
mhm,
sorts of ways to describe the crisis.
mhm,
And they give very strong painkillers. Morphine.
mhm.
Morphine is one very strong painkiller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morphine, blood transfusions.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
morphine and blood transfusion, and then comes the stigma again because people can get addicted to drugs, and yeah,
Mhm.
there's that stigma of being classed as a drug addict. Now I don't know if they get that in Asalo, but I'm not even sure that they give too much morphine in
Mm,
Asalo. You know,
I'm not
But,
sure.
yeah.
But couple of things.
Mm.
We'll get plenty comments then
Okay.
already. I want to read some.
Okay.
Then after that, we get one question what I want to
Okay.
ask you.
Mm-hmm.
The first comment come from Joya Johnson. Joya
Okay.
say her father, as you say now you papa then they talk, I don't know. He say her father, Dr. Alex Thomas, was a renowned medical doctor.
Okay. No, okay. In fact, let me
Oh,
let me say that my daddy and his brother they were both doctors. My dad was the shorter one. My dad was Olu Thomas. That my uncle was
okay.
Alex. So
Alex, okay.
whether you want distinguish between the two, then you ask say na the tall one or the short one.
What is that
Now,
one?
now, if now, I imagine saying that Uncle Dio, name Dio as well. Then they both pass, but
Okay.
Uncle Dio. But me daddy in Bimbi, Usai, a lot of people know daddy from in a been Barclays Bank, then Dr. Oriel Tobacco Oil Refinery. Now in a been one of the doctors. So a lot of people
Okay.
know him, but not the short one.
Okay.
Okay, Ola
This
During,
person
yes. Yeah,
yeah.
Ola During.
This person say it's PCMH, but the sick children's area is called
It's called, you
Oladuri.
remember what I've
Okay.
been asked? Say, I wonder what's in the
Yes.
hospital name now. Yeah, yeah. I know,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Then Joya say
Mm.
Auntie Bovi used to sell kerosene.
Did she? What a joy come on, Kissy. I don't really maybe but maybe that Kissy. Maybe. Mm.
I try say kissy people and they watch the show.
I know I know I
Plenty.
know I know recall that, but okay, somebody say Iyamide is a child. I know okay, Gifty, I
It's
know
our
Gifty.
champion. You know,
I know
Gifty.
Gifty. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a mom.
Then
Okay.
Harold na Canada say this na good talk.
Okay.
Then
Outside nothing say
Hamilton.
they bash the men. the
Oh
men.
no, I don't think so. Think that. You know,
Okay,
Famultik,
yeah, that's
right?
Amadou.
Na
That's
him.
Amadou, yeah, that's Amadou. The men are there, are they? And
And
they go for the
in the
test.
camp, and in the camp, Nina we guess next week. We will
Okay,
talk about
okay,
that later
yeah,
on. Yes.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
This
somebody
person
died
say again. Yes.
in
Oh yeah,
Padilla.
somebody died of sickle cell.
Full blown,
Then
yeah, that's not
really,
the full blown condition, yeah. And you see, Sierra Leone, just now, just add a bit, they then get the sickle cell Disease Society in Sierra Leone as well, and I did in touch with them. Obviously they
Mm.
don't get all that access to blood. That's another thing. Blood transfusions. Now, yeah, they have to screen the blood and match the blood and all that. I don't know how well that's done in a salon. So yeah, so it's tough for people in with a salon. It's tough. But let us talk. If you don't get more questions, let us talk how people they get crisis, because certain things they will they trigger
Okay.
crisis, trickle cell
Okay.
crisis.
Mm.
Infections now one. So again, take all your anti, things will go prevent you from getting an infection.
Infection. Mm.
That's because that can trigger crisis. Temperature, both cold, if it's too cold or too hot, that can trigger crisis. Because when it's too cold, especially when you're in England or then kind side there, yeah, your blood vessels and then they get smaller for try for compensate for heat loss. And when they then do that, when they sort of shrink, then it's more difficult for let the blood flow through. So when the blood they flow through and get difficulty, obviously then sickle cell them. It's not very good for the sickle cells. Yeah. So when
Mm.
it's cold, your blood cells then they shrink for try for prevent heat loss, and that is not good. So you should keep warm. Similarly, when you're in a very very hot country, if you drink water, because if you get dehydrated, your blood then it dilates and loss for let you feel cool, but then you dey sweat and get dehydrated, and when you're dehydrated your blood gets thicker. So again, you have to do that. Another thing we tell people, not taking away go make you dehydrate, or what they call it caffeine and smoking. There's certain things that can trigger dehydration and all that, so you therefore be careful about that. Strenuous exercise too, because you dey overexert yourself.
Mm.
Then things say stress, might cause crisis.
Crisis.
So when you get exams, you have to be careful. Don't get too stressed. All that kind of thing, and they might trigger crisis. But you can take all them precaution then they and still get crisis. You know. But one thing, important thing where I want to say is two people that with sickle cell can get very different experience of it. Una two can be sickle cell anemia. Got other kind sickle cell than they. Una two can
Mm.
be sickle cell anemia. And I that this place bears witness to people that way I mean service users there. One go they go hospital all the time. Another one go hospital for 10 years. Because
Mm.
and I would say I don't think one they do thing for trigger in crisis. It's just sometimes the way the sickle cell is, but yeah, it's just the roll of the dice. Yeah. So we can always say when I can they take people and go around, like why can they go then barber shop and go out, I can try for take
Mm.
somebody with any condition for talk for the
Mm.
condition, because me
Mm.
not get I make you only talk how they advocate for people you, but there's
Yeah.
nothing better than for let the person we get talk about your
Talk
experience.
about
Yeah.
Mm.
But I can always warn people that this is only one person's experience, and
Mm.
don't, because you probably just had a child with sickle cell, it not mean say you self your picking might go through all this, and
Mm.
stuff like that. Talking about children, thing, and the not telling us say then they check antenatally now, yeah, this country and some other countries screening. America probably they do screening. So then
Yeah.
when the pregnant mom, but now also they also do newborn screening. So babies that are born can be tested. It's one out of 9 screening programs here. Sickle cell is one of them, and they test the newborn baby. Now,
Mm.
so some man them. Amadou, I'm back on the men. Now, so some man them. If no say they get the trait, because let me give you the scenario. If the mother to be not gets the trait, then not they call the papa, not so.
Mm.
Now, if that
Yeah.
baby born with the trait, it means say the gene come out to the papa,
To the papa.
and as source on the papa, then they know say then get the trait, and some can still they deny. We for make people then go look the family legacy. We have a film online, called The Family Legacy. Just Google that, Family Legacy Sickle Cell. I've been involved in helping to produce that film from the script level to recruiting the actors and actresses. It's a 20-minute film, like a Nollywood film made in the UK by the NHS. we're bringing all these scenarios of stigma. You did watch them?
I watch all
Yeah,
three. Yes, I
yeah.
did.
It's
I
on
did.
YouTube. So please, when I Google that, I
Yes.
don't know, you can put that in the chat, the family legacy. Very educational film. And I've been a show them film day. Now the barber shop them as well, you see, because we can take the
Mhm.
film, show the film, and then get a Q&A afterwards. You feed them,
Afterwards.
you what they call, and it was very, very interesting. The only thing I can make sure say I know they go show away World Cup day or any day time, till then they don't
I
gonna
will pay
football
you
there.
attention.
Now football they
I
all
got
want go watch.
question. I
Uh-huh.
got question for you. When baby born with the disease, okay, waiting at the earliest age when it go begin get crisis.
Crisis. Okay. When baby, actually, that's a good question. When baby born with the condition, yeah,
Mm.
we all born with a certain hemoglobin we name fetal, from the
Yeah.
fetus, fetal
Mhm.
hemoglobin. And your
Mhm.
hemoglobin not they become adult hemoglobin till after around 6 months. So up to about 6 months, that baby would be fine unless they don't then do newborn screening and they don't say the baby gets sickle cell, right? But in the olden
Mhm.
days, or when I say olden or non-screening, then I saw some
Yeah.
people now. Yeah, if I get one particular client now, yeah, which tell me saying I saw in mama, then take no say he gets sickle cell because after about 6 months, with the young babies, their hand and foot can swell. It's called dactylitis when the prices. I even get a slide like that way. And so their hand and fingers they swell. So they took him to the doctor, and luckily I think it was an African doctor here. This is probably almost 40 now, the boy. So that now so it take no say the baby gets sickle cell. Because that's only they're not been a screen, do tests,
Mm.
screening and all that. In fact, the Sickle Cell Society, one of the reasons they founded it was the lack of awareness in this country in 1979 was founded. It was to raise awareness of this condition. But after 6, 7 months, or when they know say that baby they get sickle cell, then they give folic acid and penicillin as well. That's the regime they put in for be like a prophylactic, for make them not get
Okay.
infection and not the
Okay.
folic acid helps build the blood cells. The foliate helps with iron, build the blood cell. Yeah.
Okay. Now I got a stupid question.
No, no, nothing
Um,
stupid. Yeah.
somebody post the last comment where we read that somebody say somebody will die during childbirth because of sickle cell and everything. If them be able for if the I assume say na normal birth, this person go through way die. If na be cesarean, them will do the person before die. You think because before
No.
they under anesthetic and all
Well,
that. You
you
think
can't really
say
comment. That I can't really sort of comment on sort of too much particular cases. And make I just say, for them and I meant to put a disclaimer. I'm not a medic. I'm chemistry. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let me put a disclaimer. I meant to do that at the start. But what thing I know is that the people with sickle cell, we're pregnant, they go under very
Mm,
special care. We have some gynecologists,
yeah.
they have to make sure they,
Mm,
because if they begin a crisis or sickle and all that, they go under special
yeah.
care for that. And how
Mm-hmm.
can we have, so I'm not, sure what thing gonna happen to this. Now, Freetown, it happen, you say? Yeah, now
Um,
Freetown.
it not say it just say during delivery because it gets
Okay.
full blown sickle cell.
Okay,
It
yeah,
not
maybe
say.
then,
I
maybe,
just
maybe,
wonder no
maybe
more
blood,
because
maybe she needed blood, and because yeah,
yeah.
maybe there were all sorts of things. Maybe she was anemic, then kind of thing. And are not, I mean, if again with cesarean, they have to be they have to be obviously careful, but not free tongues. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
go under
Then they
very
take
special care.
extra care. Yes,
Yeah,
I
I get
suppose.
people that with sickle cell we get about 4 picking, 5 picking women. So they,
Yeah.
yeah, so that, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
twins. I have one with twins. Twins.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, the beginner don't begin. And funnily, a question I was asked, or I did a talk to Coca-Cola, as you know. One of the questions where they
Mhm.
asked is if twins, how sickle cell. I don't forget the way we asked them, but the answer was if not identical twins, they'll both have sickle cell. But if they're not identical twins, it's possible for them one get sickle cell, one not get. I can't remember the way we asked me the question, but that was the answer.
That was the answer.
And I have
Wow.
examples of that where identical twin girls, because you get the when the eggs split, it's the same genes,
Yeah.
it splits.
Mhm.
Whereas with non-identical twins, they're different eggs, so different, genealogy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I get examples of that. A boy and a girl. Now the girl gets the boy does, that, yeah. So
Mhm.
with twins, that may happen. Yeah. Let me
Joya
see.
want to know how we can help we picking or demand them when they suffer from sickle cell, especially when you see a young and they cry from pain with pain.
Okay, I mean, I think the only thing I can say is how for manage the condition, the various ways where they manage the condition. Um, Lots of fluids. Yeah, the baby, the fluids, antibiotics against, what they call against infections, rest, pain medication, um, healthy lifestyle with babies. And some people they say obviously blood transfusion. Some people go for regular blood transfusions where they prevent um, build up we could cause stroke. The infanaya they get if person don't get stroke before, especially young people, they put them on prophylactic blood transfusion. So they go for regular blood transfusion for prevent stroke because and they get one kind blood transfusion when they exchange blood transfusion where then they remove the sickle cells and replace them with the round blood cells. Then get another when they top up where they just they chop you up with the round one, but the exchange one now a more effective one, but very expensive machine. So it's not, the machine isn't in every hospital, and I'm pretty sure they don't have it in Sierra Leone. But with the picky where they cry, some people say, they're cold, just put a warm compress, and try. But now medication and things, really, the same way I imagine then they treat adults. I want to
Yeah.
give some myths, yeah, about I think I've been on throwing one or two. One of the
Yeah.
myths then way again is related to stigma is that the parents feel guilty. Me don't get somebody with sickle cell can ask me. This was giving a talk. Say in mama also tell and say no in parents and say no to we go nana from you grandpa you grandpa and you. And then I had to tell this person that it doesn't skip a generation because all through her growing, I mean, only tell her and say, no to with you, maybe now my grandpa
Mm.
or St. Jonas.
Yeah.
It doesn't skip a generation.
You know, they skip.
It doesn't skip a generation, no. So I had to tell them that. There's this thing also say people that way to get the treat can't give blood because now blood donation is quite a big thing, and we get a project at the Sickle Cell Society for encourage people to donate blood so that the people that will get sickle cell will get a bank of blood, right? And it's good to
Mhm.
match the blood because black people have a particular blood group that's more prevalent in black people. The colleague then had an interview, I think it's called RO or something. And blood is good when it's matched, properly matched. Then you don't have all the sort of rejection and all the antibodies. You rejecting somebody else's blood and all that. So yeah. So we encourage people to give blood. And again, men can give more blood because obviously women lose blood, through menstruation and all that. So men can be multiple blood donors, okay. So my colleague then they go to the gyms where you have all these big butch men that say they don't have the traits. Yeah. And are very successful. They go to churches, we blood drive
Mm.
very we get a name give blood spread love or something. Yeah. The colleagues that they do that and I'll give you our website. I think I see one or two questions. One from was Hannah Lee. I don't know. I know Hannah.
Yes, yes. Hannah Neal say it's important to remove the superstitious
Oh,
beliefs people have.
yeah.
Good work
Yeah,
being
Hannah.
done by
Thank
Iyamide
you.
and others.
Thank you, Hannah. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Now
So
this
much
one, Pat,
superstition. I will tell you that
Pat
another one.
Kamara. Yeah, go ahead. We will
The
come to
other,
Pat Kamara.
yeah, the other superstition when I'm in the work in Sickle Cell, a Sierra Leonean lady came to me. In fact, not been no same in Sierra Leone. She came to the society, and they tell me say when even I think a Kono, yeah, she was accused by fumble of being a witch because in sickle cell picking them in die. They die. I think she lost about two,
God.
or so, when they're young, because of sickle cell and anything like that they get. And they accused her of being a witch. This was genuine thing. When he explained what he said the stomach in swell and thing, there's a condition with sickle cell when if the sickling they happen around your spleen, your spleen then near your liver, it they make the
Mhm.
stomach, protrude and big and all, and that was happening. So and you can die from that if it's not. So I tell her, and she just thought, I was accused. They accused me saying a witch. He said, now
My
later on, I
God.
think we go back and this famble we do when they explain when they find out saying that so the famble they bigger, bigger, you know. And that person they were talking that himself now, she then became an advocate area
Oh,
day. Yeah, that's
wow.
alone. Yeah, that's alone. Yeah, she got into that because then it gets more people that we survive and
Mhm,
all that. I think one with
mhm,
sickle cell survive. Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Still believe that there. You see somebody just puts it and believe in a witchcraft. Yeah, they do. Yeah, witchcraft. In fact, one side in Nigeria where they call the hey God, and we're not getting on Nigeria. Then get name with them in a GP picking and we get sickle cell, abio something. Where then they can mark them and say if they die and come back with that mark day. Or there's some religion, me Nigeria family
Wow.
they can tell me all the abeku or something, and that they call them so they can mark it and say, well, if they die and come back with that marketing and the spirit get all kind of thing, all kind of thing, all kind of thing, not good. Stigma, we have to get rid of
Okay.
the stigma. Or somebody put,
Yeah,
I,
Famutik, Amadou.
no, it
He
not been
said,
there. Yeah.
he said,
Okay,
I have
let's
a
talk.
question.
Yeah. How is it related?
You know,
Yeah, it be I don't know if this said if you are
I'm
carrier
thinking with it.
status, yeah, Amadu, if you're a sickle cell carrier with just one copy of the gene, you have some protection against malaria because another thing, in fact, a twin, Nigerian when I did that talk, in fact, is a film producer. Now I talk say that will explain because they say in twin brother all time in he get malaria, but he never did, growing up, you know. But it doesn't mean say una not for take anti-malaria when any anti-malaria drugs when they go na malaria and also it seems odd because some people could say, well, if possible get one copy of the gene get protection, surely somebody will get two for getting more protection. You might think that way, but on the contrary, it affects people with sickle cell so badly, malaria, then not forget malaria because all the other complications that come to play if you have two genes, two of the sickle cell. So nothing say because you get sickle cell, you're protected against malaria. People have to take anti-malaria tablets, no matter when, where, or both straight or not straight. But just for ask you, Morenica, when you been so you been get malaria or
Not
you
really.
yeah, you see, maybe now you trade
Not really.
status. Something like you trade
Not really.
status
No,
unknowingly.
I not say when I'm in the form 3, I been admit na Dr. Davis hospital. They say I been get jaundice.
Okay. Yeah, you see,
And they
yes,
say jaundice because all what you dey explain now me they put two and two
two
together.
together.
They say
Yeah.
I been get jaundice and I saw
Yeah.
me I be
Two.
yalla and
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
I never get crisis because I don't
Yeah.
get
You know, get two.
the
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
condition,
You know, get yeah.
So
Well, I get
so
paddy way himself in a trait where say even they get joint ache growing up. Joint pain.
mhm,
And even though people say, the trait is not the condition, but you do have some sickly. And also the
yeah,
precautions there where you get for take with the trait. If you they go for general anesthesia, and you're not trait, they need to know because
yeah,
any environment where they lower the oxygen, you need to know that that person is sick,
yeah,
sickle. And
that's right.
deep sea diving. Not many of us do that. Or up
Mhm.
mountain. Funnily, when I go Coca Cola this week, one of them when I trade say Ingo dive when you go to the Caribbean islands you can do the yeah. You say when do I say when begin feel why they could I call and let them bring her come up. She's a carrier. She did not no seriously.
Wow.
She did that. Another one time me saying why Ingo climb I say God in the room of God knows I mean two of you are doing the things that you know not meant to do. That's amazing. I just and there were women. These were women, not men. These were women,
Wow.
And also in the aeroplane, commercial planes are pressurized anyway, so that, but some of the people that with sickle cell can take their own oxygen just in case. Yeah, some
Yeah.
can take that.
Dalinda want for know if there's is there a natural way like herbs to manage sickle cell so that people who cannot afford medical, I guess,
Can use.
help can use? Yeah.
Well, there's some,
Yeah.
I strongly believe that a lot of these these medicines that are sold in the West and all that. Some of them are plant based. Then they go to the African countries, get these, the plant or whatever, refine it, do something, and sell it back as a drug. So let me tell you what my own view is. There's certain things like because I remember one sickle cell patient client. It can go Nigeria every so often, say in they go for whatever it was then again day because it helps her. And then when I've been there, not before the society, I know they were doing research on yam. Yam. This was years ago. That yam
Really?
had something that helped people, with the condition.
Wow.
I know some of my clients and they do their complementary. So Mickey always say, if the complementary one doesn't interfere with the tradition, the conventional one, but just make sure don't put yourself at risk because you don't want to take whatever. I mean, we know that people don't like taking too many painkillers because you don't want to take too many opioids, that thing with morphine and all these opioids. Nobody wants to be taking that. So maybe if they find something that helps, and I strongly believe some of these plants help. It's just that, it's not
Yeah.
being sold in a bottle in the West or whatever. So in Africa, there are people doing things. You know what? Anything that we're going to use growing up, we rub this or if another thing. Let's give you before I come on at this topic. And this is one of the sickle cell hematologists living in Jamaica. He's been there for years, Englishman. And when I remember I met him at a conference. And it's that they use for I mentioned leg ulcers were one of the things that
Yeah.
people suffer.
Mhm.
Then say
Mhm.
pawpaw, that thing then they call them papaya.
Mhm.
Pawpaw
Papaya.
either in juice or something is good for leg ulcers. So you see now,
Really?
yeah, they were in the Caribbean and
Mhm.
yeah, they were reporting that. So I can remember growing up. You want to read that for me? Young
Yes.
ladies were
This
told not to
Harold.
get pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah.
You
These are
know.
all mixed. Then they live past that. Yeah. Then yeah. With good hair, good care. You see that now the thing and that we on. In fact, I'm once saying that we eldest lady she was in her 80s. It died I think last year. But we got reports of people in Nigeria living much longer than that with sickle cell. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got report of that. Yeah, with sickle cell. So
Barbara Robinson. Robinson is a very interesting and educative. As a CPE student doing my hospital clinical, my first assignment was the sickle cell flow. I got the doctors on board to educate me about the cause and reactions of this disease, making me comfortable to do my ministration.
okay.
Tell
Yeah,
God
yeah.
thank you.
Education, I tell you, education is and getting rid of stigma will really help us progress with and
Mhm,
making people's lives more comfortable. There is so much stereotyping, you know.
mhm.
The only thing is, I mean, the stigma, that different kind of stigma. I think Africa, that over there, they will say, "Oh, no, marry that family, they will then get sickle cell," that sort of thing. Nigeria in particular, I know that they do that. No, no, go there, then and get sickle cell in that family, they not go there. But if they get them,
Yeah.
me say the person where you are married gets the, It's genetic. I mean, you and me can get a brother with or sister with sickle cell, yet we don't have the gene at all. You know?
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's a yeah. That's how, I showed you that. That's what I
So,
showed you.
so
Hmm.
what's in you advice for young couple them these days?
Well, that okay. We just do we say I tell you about this because the project where they're doing as a sickle cell society now for the last 5 years now more for do with the NHS screening. Me rolled on
Mhm,
changing at the society about 2 or 3 times. One, I've been all that outreach with the family legacy, trying to get people more aware, and blah blah blah. Then it become more strategic work with the screening program for see exactly waiting at the thing where people then want we go make sure so they get rid of any inequalities in their service
mhm,
provision and all that. So recently, Seth, we do something where we interview people. Then we don't go through the motherhood or fatherhood and get speaking them on how then they
mhm,
communicate screening results to them and waiting they want for see done. We just do a report with him, it's in our gene. So if I go on the website, I will see her. But with the screening program, even though now pregnant women then they call, it normally say you can't go for the test before you're pregnant because that's a question people ask. Why wait till the woman pregnant for make you know your genotype? Genotype mean you know which genes are you carrying, yeah, for
yeah.
hemoglobin. So with the young people, and now more and more, in fact, we do conference where we launch that report there, and we get two young medical students then come for can talk say, look, we young people now we want to know what out there. They want to know which thing they carry. There's more awareness about sickle cell. They want to know before they make informed choice whether they will date, and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Now, the advice would be, especially if you get family, we get sickle cell trait or the thing, it's good to get tested. When you get tested, it don't mean say get tested and say, hey, no, 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 now yeah, so anyway, they're not test you, but you say don't go and have children with sickle cell. That's not the message that the screening program is giving. Other countries, they went to other countries, I think in Greece, but now for thalassemia, they actually tell people not to have, but the message here now for screen so that you have an informed choice, your choice as to
Mhm,
what you want.
mhm,
Because people with look, stigma enough for the people with sickle cell, they can become doctors, lawyers, you know what I mean? So it's
mhm,
not a matter of shunning them. Yeah, in fact sometimes they have to work twice as hard and they become
yeah.
twice as clever. Seriously, I really talk from experience of meeting people with and working with people with sickle
Mhm,
cell. So I remember just for tell you one thing, one very thing will be very pertinent where I go on a radio program with one of me sickle cell lady. Then we in fact Naomi get twins, we one get sickle, one of it. And she has the condition herself. Yeah. And the white presenter asked her and say, if you already have sickle cell, why have you gone and had other children? She has two, with sickle cell. And her reply to that woman day, who I thought was being a bit insensitive, was it would be like aborting myself. You might not know waiting for talk. The presenter will ask her
yeah.
that.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
Yeah, because this girl is doing so well, this mother, this sickle cell, so she's saying, look, you are more or less telling me that I should have aborted my babies, your baby. It
Mhm,
would be, I mean, even
yeah.
I was shocked. Even I was quite shocked with that reply to me. You might just shut him, but he asked her all that question,
Of
you know.
course.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that was a good
Wow.
reply. That was a good reply, you know. But it's not personal choice. Some people feel very guilty, but there are ways where you can detect, even if you're pregnant with a sickle cell child, they do prenatal diagnosis for make you diagnose the baby in the womb. I don't know. I think that they do.
At what month?
They do it in Nigeria, but I don't know that they do it in well, you have to do it. Hang on, is it 12 weeks? You have to do it. If at the screening program, now, yeah, they want you have to have done it between 12 weeks or something. There's a standard where
Hey.
they will say you should have had the two ways they do it. Either test the placenta or the I don't it may don't go. But yeah, they do it. But there's a time
So it
frame
can be done.
within which you should do it. Yeah, and they try and but not too many people here. They're not they take them up. The numbers are not as good because there is a risk of I thought my phone was on. There is a risk of miscarriage. Small risk, but there is a
Okay.
risk. But just to tell
Okay.
you some in the future, because I'm part of a project now with the okay, the cure, because no, and as you say, nobody knows actually. The cure for sickle cell at the moment is what they call bone marrow transplant, stem cells
Mhm.
transplant. Yeah,
Mhm.
because your blood
Mhm.
cells are made in your bone marrow with the, between in your bones. That's where your blood cells are made. And for stem
Mhm.
cell transplant, bone marrow transplant, then you transplant and put, bone marrow. We're not gonna make sickle cell. But they're now thinking, well, when I say thinking, it's very in its early stage. At some time in the future, they might be able to cure the baby in the womb. They might be able to do that transplant before the baby is born. In
For the
the
baby born.
that this is in the distance. I think they've got much further with Down syndrome with that. But right now at King's College, and they do a research way for see what parents and people think about that, and we're helping to recruit, people black, people that we they in the sickle cell community or black people, for make them talk waiting and go think
Mhm.
if they don't diagnose you with that prenatal diagnosis, say you baby get sickle cell, if you go, what would you think if they're going to do this, the blood transplant, put the needle in your, and all that, and cure the
Mhm.
baby? One of the questions that came out, because they don't make you do some of the interviews, was whether that baby they go all right. I mean, you're doing all this, but when the baby born, are they going to have other complications? That way, I seem to remember that was one of the
Mhm.
cautions, that one or two. But others were for it. Then when they do interview with kings, they just say, okay,
Recently,
me,
recently, few years ago, somebody in England they claim say he's been cured. This is a young gentleman
oh yeah,
from sickle cell. I saw it
yeah,
somewhere. How
yeah.
is that?
No, that would have been bone marrow transplant. That would have been because they did
Color,
some,
color
yeah.
do.
Oh
Okay.
no, that would have been that. Yeah, there was a guy. In fact, what it is, well, with bone marrow transplant, it's not a universal cure because it's so complicated. You have to find good a donor we go get and the
Mhm.
match. And before it used to be siblings and things, but now they're matching non-siblings. But still, it's not a common thing, and it's so complicated.
So,
Therefore, with all the complications that can come out of it. You can get infections and all this sort of thing. But one caution as well is the bone marrow transplant cures you of sickle cell, but it doesn't cure you of the gene. You can still pass on the gene.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. You can still pass on the gene. But that said,
Okay.
the way research is going is what they call gene therapy, where they're doing all that research as for make them do the repair of the gene rather than
Mhm.
just the bone marrow. Somebody's asked a question. I know they see good. Sorry, I just joined. Yeah.
The one within at the screen that from I believe said a Molly Mason or a husband Edmund.
Okay.
It says sorry I just joined and you may have already gone over this. But what are the signs and symptoms and what are the long-term care plans? So
Okay, we've gone over the signs. We've gone over some of the symptoms: crisis, anemia, and organ damage. They're the three key symptoms. I mentioned leg ulcers. You can get waiting at the other thing what I been mentioned about then get something when we then will get for replace you hip necrosis of your hip or your shoulder that can happen. But the main definitive symptom is the crisis really. Now, that's all man know when they're in very, very bad pain. People can be in hospital for months, with that very bad pain on very strong painkillers. Oh, Leah, I know Leah. Which again, Molly be asked, or would that you say he asked
oh
something?
Molly be say the symptoms and how for long-term care. La
Okay,
go back.
the care, blood
Because there's
transfusion,
plenty. I
eh?
don't No, I
Blood,
just to say and it's time for
when
trainer. But go ahead. Go
okay,
ahead.
blood transfusions. I mentioned blood transfusions. I mentioned rest. I mentioned fluids. take your antibiotic, avoid infections, healthy lifestyle, eat well, eat things like foliage, we go spinach, we go help build your new blood cells, no smoking, don't get cold, especially for the young people, Then he want do thing with them peers and go out, left all the, their body na do they get sick, that sort of thing, right? And it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard if
Mhm.
you see your peers doing stuff and you can't. But now I think that, they take care of themselves because the worst thing is to go and dance. If you go dance in a nightclub, then the next day, then they rush you to hospital with crisis. So I think themselves, they make sure so they look have some to anyway, you know. I mean, see another question. Oh, Leah.
Leah
I
wants
know,
to
I
know
know
the
Leah.
negative and positive of carrying the trait.
Okay. I don't want to say negative. Okay, the positive, if you in inverted commas, is obviously it gives some protection against malaria. Yeah, as I been saying before. The what you will call the negative is obviously you can pass it on, and if you partner instead of pass them on, then that child, there's a 25% chance that child could have sickle cell, when you come together and have a baby. The other negative, of course, is you have to be cautious if you go do the thing and we talk like mountain climbing, where the oxygen is reduced, or deep sea diving. But I can't see Leah doing deep sea diving.
Leah
Leah,
is
I
in
don't,
the
I think I don't think Leah
we
will
know.
do that. I mean, Leah will go Atlanta. You mean the Atlanta one also Morenica?
I've been there. I've been there.
Na me and Leah be
I
represent
remember.
can you
I
can we hold
remember.
the banner? Can we too be hold the banner in Atlanta?
I remember. Oh
Oh
dear.
God. Oh wow. Let's see any other sort of question. Then I will
Let's see.
after the comment, which you want to talk about the history. Let's see if I don't miss out anything for that list to have been
Um, no, well, the rest of the comments, them the people that just to say thank you. This is very educative,
Oh, good
And
morning.
somebody again say in Gladi where we talk about Creole, so then we able,
Oh,
enlighten others, and
other
then
people.
I
Okay.
think Ahmad will post back, but I don't see again the comments and plenty.
Okay.
We're not
And I
going to
think
go
we're
through
going
all
to
them
see after. I will
comments.
see the comments then when you put on the
Yes,
on the
yes. If you go on YouTube, when all
yeah.
thing done, go on YouTube and
Hmm.
all the comments and
All the
go there on
comments
them.
today. I don't
Yes,
talk out
and
for
you can
manager. Let's just
respond.
talk
You can
about the
respond.
impact on work and education, because that might be useful, simply because we do when I say we, some colleagues there, and one in particular, they liaise with the sickle cell society, disease society in Sierra Leone, for
Mhm.
do we Naya, so we do an educational team we name you know approach to sickle cell, and on education, yeah, a guide to school policy, right? We did that here
Mhm.
for educate people that are the schools now, yeah, how for look after picking away the school with sickle cell. Then my colleagues now, yeah, they had a little bit more funding, so then we want to go do an a salon in Nigeria. So the one of them traveled to Sierra Leone actually and work in collaboration with the sickle cell society there, sickle cell disease society there, and then produce this book named A Sierra Leonean Approach to Sickle Cell and School Inclusion. And some of it was based on the one in England, but they talk about Poda transfer, they just basically revise them for suit Sierra Leone. And I did and do the
Mhm.
song, a sickle cell song, where I will tell you now, that song where I say, unfortunately, I sent and
Yes.
to the
Mhm.
level play. But it's on the Sickle Cell Society website, where Sam Macaulay, the guy with the right Creole
Mhm.
and Tina Sierra Leone,
Yeah.
he
Mhm.
was the one that produced that
We're
actually.
familiar
Yeah.
with your works.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, he produced it, and based on some of the things we come out that the English version of that educational itinerary we do. And then they found out they have sickle cell clubs in the schools. I don't know, I'm pretty sure some of them will not still get them, but they had, because I also we get support groups around the community where they meet. And this my colleague find out said and that some of the schools have sickle cell clubs, which was news to me actually, but that's really good. That's
Wow.
really good.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And so in schools, I mean, if anybody want get bikini and want for no, there's some simple things one can do. for schools, make sure say the pikin they drink water, especially in a salon where it's so hot. But at the same time, they have to be allowed to go to the toilet because obviously you're drinking a lot of water not to get dehydrated, you therefore go toilet, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're not for restrict them going to the toilet. They feel anemic, because of the low they feel tired because they're
Mm-hmm.
anemic. Now, yeah, so we
Mm-hmm.
did a book some years ago called Not Another Lazy Child because they were being stereotyped when they fall a bit asleep and or say they're too lethargic. So we did that book called Not Another Lazy Child in a sickle cell depicting. So you see, these sort of things help. Not too much exercise. That is, temperature. The classroom should be not be cold. Now, yeah, when I free tongue, I suppose open the windows, make it, reasonable for the picking them. That's one at work too, because and also always tell, not make stigma stop una from telling carers say you picking a sickle cell. Now you won't believe it. I had a Nigerian lady client. She's passed now, God rest her soul. Not in get sickle cell, in picking me get sickle cell. Before he born that picking with sickle cell, his sister been get picking with sickle cell where even the babysit for. She didn't know her sister's child was sickle cell because the sister
Oh,
not tell her. That is the reality sometimes. Because she didn't even know they had the trait in the family. Even a go night, if the sister had come clean, surely she would have done tests or
yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Martina Wayne Bonnie became with sickle cell. Nine, it
That's
came
in
out.
the.
That's when it came out. What? Why?
So waiting that it be the shame for talk. The
Yes,
system is the
it's your
shame
own
for
sister.
talk.
Tell you your own sister. You know, in the workplace, Naya, what we can say, in fact, we do another thing where when a guide to, we did a sickle cell and employment guide more recently. We just get the show. We interviewed, my colleagues. We interviewed people. We get sickle cell, what they face at work. One me young at the time, he was how much he old? He was probably in his early 20s. He was told when he get crisis now one of the shop the place there, I think he may not be absent. The person tell and say, look, if you go home, nobody come back. So he went home and he wrote a song called Feel My Pain, where I helped him, get it, onto a DVD, and we were, I mean, he's no great singer, but at least we got him, it was used in those days. I got some funding for him for make a DVD, and it helped. He went home and wrote this song, Feel My Pain, but because then tell and say, that's what happened. But now employment laws and things, disability laws, you're not meant to
Mm-hmm.
discriminate,
Yeah.
but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people still do not disclose, and that which they
Mm-hmm.
have the condition. Because I remember say when they go for the interview, then go find excuse. They don't say that because you just sickle
Go
cell.
for hire them.
So,
Yeah.
but we still.
Mm. That is
If
so
I just
sad.
said the other day, I was saying, look, it's always good to disclose it because if you disclose it and that employer still takes you on, it means they're a good employer. Than if you didn't disclose it but you still got the
Then you
job. Then
be
they can't really
absent.
say, yes, then you can't be absent, and they will tell you say go home, that sort of thing. So this,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, disclose it, because they're not meant to
You know,
discriminate. They're meant to help you
you,
to
yeah.
work well under those conditions.
You know, it's in I find out we're very, very disturbing. When people them sick, especially the black male them when they get a crisis, they go hospital. They're not a treat, they go emergency room. They're not a treat, not all hospital, but most of them, they're not a treat, they're not give them the treatment where they need at the time
Time.
because they feel to say that people are with the sick drugs.
Yeah. Oh
Then
no,
they
no, yeah.
let them suffer for hours and hours and
Same
hours.
here. Same
That is
here.
so disturbing.
It
And
is
oh,
very
same
disturbing.
corner.
Oh no, no, it's the same. It's the same meaning. In fact, I
Um,
was reading an
how we
article
can
very,
change
very
that?
recently. I was reading an article from America, I think, very recently about that. Now they tell me colleagues said same. Now I send the article to me. Same. I said as I see the thing, so now I say I'm sure it talks about waiting for your medication. He said yes, yeah, I mean it does. And then when I read it, over here, we did a standard called the standards for the clinical management of sickle cell, and that was given like the minimum standards where each hospital around gets for abide by. And you should give
Okay.
medication. I think it was 30 minutes. They shouldn't wait for more. That was one of they shouldn't wait for more than half an hour to get their pain medication.
Okay.
It had standards of how they should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
not all hospitals go, I mean, and the stereotype. You remember,
By
I
that.
think I mentioned it that they were the stereotype and say that they're drug seeking, especially black men. One guy, I
Yeah.
remember when I'm going to go out and do a lot, in those days, not a barber shop at meter. He go, let's tell you, in your case, was the typical, when he tell me, I thought I can see why then is there. One, the black man. Two, the area where you go not get boku black people in England. He was visiting, he go get crisis and go hospital, we don't know. Three, na dreadlocks. And the stereotype,
Oh
white people.
God.
He had those three in black, male, not
With
many white
dreadlocks.
black people, and he had to phone them. It was terrible. It was terrible. But we even have a more recent case here, just before the pandemic. Ghanaian boy, that was so sad. He had to phone. We are waiting now in our hospital, na 911, or your name, or na they call
911.
ambulance.
Yes.
He
Yes.
had
Mm-hmm.
to phone 999 he phoned 999 from his hospital bed to say this is what.
What?
Yes, yeah, because he wasn't being given the thing, and sadly, the hematologist, you see that, but it's making things change. We did a report called "No One's Listening," the Sickle Cell Society and
Mm-hmm.
Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
No one's, and that report has gained. It was interviewing people. If they tell you their story, we think happen. This poor guy died in
Oh
the
my
and
God.
you have that, and the changes, they change their CEO, they do all kinds of, because we advertise, it went out there. In fact, the mom was at a meeting some time ago this week, said the mama, and I think that they only picking, but the mom and dad have become so, they're now advocates trying for better.
Mm-hmm.
There's such decent people from the Ghanaian, so dignified, they've all that. Then
Oh,
you may, then we had a young man. I wonder if they don't find out. Ion, I'm sure, I don't know how much English British news on that they look. He was found dead in a pond in some far place. He was during the pandemic, and people got very well, that even without sickle cell, a lot of people got very depressed during the pandemic,
mm-hmm.
being locked in and all that. I think we'll find out with it. That gained the anyway, I'm not think of them, because I think he went for his daughter and reach on it. And they do feel stigmatized and lonely, some, and they're not, and it stops access to all these things, and people, this stereotyping and stigma has to stop amongst we, never mind which people there.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
talk amongst
Yeah.
let's face it,
Mm-hmm.
amongst we, the black man there. It has to stop.
One
Really.
more thing, Iyamide. We not say when me and you made the talk, you tell me about somebody many, many, many years ago. I think in the 1700s when I first discovered sickle cell.
Okay, yes, yes,
That
yeah.
was
We have to
Sierra
talk.
Leonean.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
to talk about the history. That first slide where
Yes.
you put, yes, that you remember that first one? Just show them, then we'll see a sort of drawing.
Yes. I go back to
Yeah, Dr. Africa. I'm glad you say you remind me of that because I'm involved.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, glad because that was part of the thing I asked. Say, if they can't talk about sickle cell, we have to mention Dr. Africa as Horton. Yeah. Okay. You don't put her up. Let's see because I didn't. So yeah, how much do you know about sickle? This was a talk where I do online during the pandemic. That white place, the other thing, I just blanked out because it had the date and time and Eventbrite. But I thought just details. Now talk where I've been doing. This was the graphic we used for advertising. Okay, you can put on dog now. Down the dog now because there's the other one with a plaque. So history. That's gonna the history of sickle cell. In the West, then say that 1910, then discover, yeah, 1910. And this not be in America, I know Chicago, so you probably have some Americans on. It was a Chicago cardiologist who named James Herrick, yeah. Now, he been getting student this from Grenada, a patient, sorry, from Grenada. We've been very anemic. Yeah, in fact, he was a student at the time in America. And when he do a blood smear under the microscope, now you see the elongated sickle cells. I don't know if you're able to advance to that, Morenike. One of them slide and then a blood smear, just for let people see what in sickle cell can like under the microscope exactly. So they can see that, right? When I can see the arrows, they point to the sickle cell. This has been the blood smear of somebody with a sickle cell under the microscope. When I can see the round cells, then when I see the sickle cell. By the way, if when they wonder why I name sickle cell, sickle na a curved cutlass, na like a farmer's tool, the cutlass way curved. And that's this man see under the microscope, which it may look like curved cutlass. Now they call it sickle cell anemia because those three things appeared for this poor student. He been named Walter Clement. Now that the guy been named. He was a dental student. He qualified. Go back now Jamaica, not Jamaica, Grenada. Um, he run a practice in Grenada and he sadly died at the age of 32, with the condition. He qualified and ran a practice. Now, but long before this 1910 cardiologist, then people that may know about sickle cell na Africa. This condition where they go through generations, they recall, when place cold, then bone the heart, then they die in a childhood. It's just that they're not calling that. And then you get this doctor now, Africanus 14, Creole doctor, right? I don't talk, I just say some people they don't hear you talk, but you do talk on Africanus 14. Now I've been the first you don't do the the other one. And there's another one of the plaque. I don't know if you're able to show it. This man, James Africanus Houghton, was the first African graduate of the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. Yeah, now you just show now, right? That plaque they did it.
Yes.
That's Scotland. Now, Africanus Houghton, who that he be? He born in Salone 1835. He named James Houghton, James Bill Houghton. He born at Gloucester. I don't know if any people that there with the Gloucester. In parents that have been liberated Africans, Igbo, we been there on their way to slavery, where the British Navy intercept the ships and bring them to Salone. The bulk of Creoles are liberated Africans. The dad, I think, was a carpenter. Anyway, then came Salone, then settled in Gloucester, They educate this man as grammar school and Frabe College. Yeah. Bear in mind, when they talk the 1800s, in England, he got a scholarship for go King's University of London, King's College. Then he go Edinburgh. Yeah. In 1853, now he get his scholarship camp. And then he qualified at Edinburgh as the first African. He was the first African graduate today, getting medical degree in 1859. But he was very proud of his roots then. And now he take the name Africanus. Not also, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he adopted that name, Africanus, because it became a political activist as well for independence and all this sort of thing. But then he also go work now. When he qualified as a medical doctor, he worked for the British Army. Yeah, and he worked at Ghana. Some of the first Africans that we work. These are all in the 1800s, And then he continued researching at Ghana and on tropical medicine, medicines around in the tropics. In fact, the book we write, when a day he describes sickle cell, named the diseases of tropical climates and their treatment. And that was produced in London in 1874. That book described all the features of an inherited condition, the persistent abnormality of blood, inocular and sickle cell, painful crisis, fever, all things were associated with sickle cell, painful episodes. Now, my name is Thomas, so I have to see things to believe things, unbelieving Thomas.
Unbelieving Thomas.
So I know somebody will be working at the British Library. So they go bring, I ordered the book from 1874. It came in a box. I thought I needed gloves because some of these things you need to wear gloves. to or they give me the book. I spent about 3 hours in the British Library just, carefully going through that book just to see these things. And it was amazing. It was amazing. For say a Sierra Leonean Creole Afrikaner. So in fact, when I found out, the way when we find out, say this Afrikaners voting, the very first month of me working at the Sickle Cell Society, they sent us on a training course for a week, to, I think it was Guy's Hospital. And one of the Nigerian doctors, they're lecturing there. We write a book. Now, when you talk that, now, I say, you sure? I say, I'm from Sierra Leone. Then I said, I am going to research this. And then I found out the book was printed here by Churchill.
Wow.
Went there. And so it's so important for Lewi, Tewi Pikin and say, look, Sierra Leoneans were coming here in the 1800s and excelling, and they were excelling at the universities. The main key, I went to King's, Alma Mater, King's University. For things say African and something was there in the 1800s. It's just amazing stuff. And qualifying as a doctor at Edinburgh in the 1800s. And of course, there was all that discrimination as well, because when some of them go back, they weren't being given the same salary, the usual during colonial days and all that. But they persevered. So that history, they said, I made sure I put it in the he died. Oh yeah, I forget to tell you now. Yeah, he died in 1883. They all died young. He was about 48. A lot of these people, in those days, mortality, they die young. So he died. Yeah, that made him about 48 when he died. And when I featured him in the Museum of London, as one of the notable Creoles. And as Melbourne found out, there's not a planet. There's something up there that's named after him. I can't remember if it's a star or a planet. There's something up in the sky that's named after African something. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So that history, the America can say the real history of sickle cell. It's the sickle cell and its West African discovery. Right. And when I'm in Atlanta the year before that KDU day to a sickle cell conference. I made sure I one guy would do some thing on history. I made sure I spoke to him and told him that look, you're talking about James Herrick, but they knew about sickle cell in Africa. It's just that they didn't call it that. We have to talk about we notable creators and discoveries.
We have to.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday, was it yesterday? Mrs. Yvette Stevens, she was the first Sierra Leonean. I think she qualified as an engineer in Geneva. She gave a talk about a Black History Month talk at her old university here, Imperial, where it talk about inventions by Black people. And she mentioned Africanus Horton, David Silifu with insulin. There are all these people who did wonderful things in health. Health.
If fine what we talk about and thing there, so we can say plenty Sierra Leoneans and no one day about this man African or Horton.
Yeah.
So what would they talk about and so now if fine for no. And I'm glad if family hanging there with we sote now. We don't get plenty comments that way people and they tell we thank you. Because this very educative, they say they learn. Me self as well learn plenty today. Even though I can read about this and I don't talk to you a few times about this, but today I learn plenty. Family them where they listen. If una know say una enjoy this program, una like what to the talk about, una want for the see more but this, do ya una make we know. Una go na we Facebook page or even at this YouTube channel where una they watch from, una like, una share, una subscribe. So next time when they come, una go get the alert say yeah, go to the come on. Just so una know when they come on every Saturday 1 o'clock and at Eastern Standard Time. And we not only get the Saturday at road, Friday, I don't know if you know this too, Iyamide. Every Friday, 7 o'clock even time, we get Friday Yard Road or Yard Road Friday. When are the Muslim people them, the Muslim Creole them, then they get their worship hour. Now just 1 hour service. Then every Sunday, 7 o'clock evening time. All this na Eastern Standard Time. 7 o'clock evening time Sunday. Now the Christian worship hour. So anytime we can join that one, they all take us back in the sing. They hymns them all from back home. I mean, then shout to them every Sunday,
Mm.
1 hour service, 7 o'clock. Then Saturday, 9 at 1 o'clock,
So
Eastern
Una,
Standard Time.
yeah. We on that. We go
Yes.
8 o'clock now in London, and probably 7 o'clock.
So Una,
That's
yes.
Salome. Yeah. I just realized that we not do commercial break. When
I
we, I mean,
know,
I
guys,
just
it's
realized that when I tell you
we
say
will do the
2 hours,
commercial before
huh?
we leave.
We can do a
I
commercial
know.
break. But
And
it's
even if you take
amazing.
2 hours too long, it's why they
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you
No, yeah. No,
it's
no.
very educative. I don't
Mm,
learn plenty. But yeah,
mm.
me they will get for calling for come back. We get for calling for come back. And not even for this sickle cell talk what we talk about the other thing and the way we want for no but people
Mm,
them we go talk. Family them
mm.
and therefore we near me they come back. Yeah. Una no
Oh,
worry. If I have
Josephine Doc,
question
that's Salo.
self,
I know the
Josephine Buck,
person.
yes, Nami
Yeah, I know
Auntie,
Josephine.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh, thank you, Auntie Ayo, for joining. And as well, himself my dedicated Yardwood fan. And as
Okay,
well, himself
okay,
can they share and himself can
okay.
they
That's good. Yeah,
comment on we shows them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Iyamide, do ya before we scatter, give we last word no for family them. Waiting that
Okay.
you advise to them and just last word to everybody.
Yeah, and I know that. Yeah, and remind me, make I go tell them the various websites, the Sickle Cell Society
Sure.
and Salon.
Yes.
Yeah, me on last word really now for. I mean, we I think you build this thing as sickle cell and stigma. Me on last word go be look. Sickle cell na like na genetic thing where you know na by genes, not to curse, not to any bad thing where somebody wish on una. So when people born with sickle cell, una not for make them feel ashamed. The parents do not for feel guilty if they not don't get the test or they decide say they want the pikin and the pikin born with sickle cell. I mean, because this stigma and shame not they help the condition in Naya or Caribbean any side. Because when you refuse to talk about it, then the people that when they provide services, if they don't know say una get this condition, una get their needs here, how they go provide the services? And that's what they tell people Naya say let them go on the register. Naya so now na UK, then get a sickle cell register. But you they volunteer for say you want the pana. And I keep telling people you get conditions, sickle cell, and get something like when cystic fibrosis, we get less people, but then get so much money because they are open. Then they talk, then they claim the disability when they get for claim. They're not ashamed, say, oh no, but then they call me disabled. All these sort of things. So please make we remove that stigma from sickle cell and just treat people with respect, help them. People with sickle cell, they fight harder for things. I am telling you. Then they fight. Amelia, God, I'm glad. Amelia, there is Sickle Cell Society in Africa. Amelia, I'm so glad you joined. The Sickle Cell Society in Africa, na Thomas Street, I think it is. Then we get we own www.sicklecellsociety, all one word.org. Lots of resources there. Me contact there, all the staff there, etc. So please, me on advice to people will be sickle cell is not a curse. It's a condition, and you should try and support people who get it. That's my own advice. Just like I've been doing. People can wonder, say, how come you're so dedicated to it? Because I don't have the trait. I don't get sibling with the trait. I think my late dad had the trait, but yeah, the update on free time was great. Yes, Amelia, they will come to you. The sickle cell and help with fundraising. Please help with fundraising
Yeah.
as well. They need fundraising in Sierra Leone. We need funds here. We're a charity, by the way. In the Sickle Cell
Mhm.
Society is a charity. But please, and in Sierra Leone as well, go and do charity walks and things. There's so much you can do to help fundraise in Sierra Leone. Yeah, that could be me
So
advice. Mhm.
So one more time, you said www.sicklecellsociety.com.
.org.
Oh,
You don't
dot
get
org.
you don't get
Okay.
UK.
Okay.
.org. Or if you just Google Sickle Cell Society UK, we
Dot
we we
org.
get a
I
Facebook
think
page. We get Facebook. We get website. We're on Twitter. Well, it's called X now. We're on Instagram as well. Yes,
Mm,
we are on all the social media platforms, but the website
wonderful.
nine get plenty in. Yeah.
Okay.
And this program go there on where people go able to watch because one or two friends couldn't
Oh
join.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They can always
Yeah.
go back and watch them in the
That,
YouTube. Yeah, me they not go nowhere. I get few commercial them for one. Then I
yeah.
get big news for share with we
Okay.
audience them, we the
Okay.
viewers them. When
Yeah.
I not go nowhere, when I wait. Like
Okay.
do them commercial they are so force.
Okay.
First of all, we get I want you mind when I say KDU Florida. Then it's on 5 year December. So December 1, 2, and 3, na Jacksonville, Florida. 9, then they do the celebration, the 5 year celebration. And at the same KDUD, so next year, now then they host the global family reunion. All right. So December 1, 2, and 3, we all the Florida. And in all done day, Lucia, can you remember with the Canada? Lucia writes one book, and I don't bring a camera so as a guest. This book is called Our Miracle Baby, and this book talk about infertility. If you read this book, you go laugh, you go cry, you go tell like you hug them, you go glad for them, all. You face, if you're not possible to get face, there you go. If you're not possible to not get face, you go begin build your face after you get this book. That's how much you go like the book. Me don't buy them. I don't get them done, and I don't begin get them back for the second term. That's how good this book be. And they on paperback, or I can get on Amazon, or I can get on a Kindle if you want. Una the see the price, right? 879 for the Kindle version and 1999 for the Amazon version. We're not done there. We'll get more commercial them. When I know say every Friday we Muslim Creole people them. They self get a service when I then they do every Friday 7 o'clock. Now just 1 hour Muslim worship. Then the Sunday you nine are the Christian you. Una let we watch.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى.
My mother my mother my mother needed me, and I needed Summa Home Care. I had a lot of questions, and they had all the answers. Summa walked us through the application process all online, so it was private, easy, and convenient. Now I get paid to take care of mom, and great health benefits too. She may need me more down the road, and Summa has skilled nurses, so I know as things change, Summa Home Care has my back.
Summa is an accredited and Medicare certified home care agency. Get paid to take care of your loved one. Call and apply today from the comfort of your own home.
Okay, sample them. When I remember before we begin to the commercial, I tell una say I get something I want to share with una. Next week, we'll get two wonderful guests them where they can join me in a yard road. The first one, na person where some of una know him. Some of una know him as Jepe. I don't know why they call him Jepe. When he come, he go can't tell me why. But some other people them again, they know him for Amadou Masali. Amadou na person where they work a lot with the Gula people them na South Carolina. So if they also next week, if they can talk to me about salon and the connection with Gula. Gula and the connection with salon. Amadou they can talk to we about that. And when they can ask her what to make all man they call and Japan. I don't know. I don't think say some of I know. But when he come, we go hear from me much. Why make them they call and that? The other person when they are so next week. Well, I not gonna believe what I tell una. Even me co-host them, they say go shock when I tell them. When I remember Joya we been there so 2 weeks ago. Joya they come back. They go there so next week. I know they tell una what they can talk about. If una want for know what Joya they can talk about next week, una log in at your road. Joya go there so Saturday 1 o'clock. Una not forget to Saturday 1 o'clock. Joya and Amadou then go there at your road. Iyamide, I hope so you go able to join me next week Saturday for for listening to Amadou and for listening to Joya.
Amadou, yeah. I'll try. I think I'll go for the program. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fable them. It don't pass 3 o'clock. When we say we go there, so take 3, but it don't pass 3 o'clock because the information the way we get, when we don't listen today, I don't learn plenty. I hope so when I say don't learn plenty. Me take away from this, I dey advise all man not to pass where you get girlfriend or pass one and they get it for born picking before you go do blood test too. Just go do the test and find out for you your own peace of mind. So then they go help you in the future, any decision you get for make,
Yeah.
whether not for get more picking or get you force picking, whatever you get for do. Just for you your own peace of mind, yeah. And do ya where we meet people and we get whether not the trait they get or not the disease
The
itself
condition.
they get. Yeah, the condition. Thank you. And it can be get for call and disease. If not the condition then get, do ya let we do waiting we able do for help them. We not say we're not able to take the pain away, but if we able let we do waiting we can. If not forget and ride, go to hospital, let them cry now with shoulder, anything that's supporting shoulder, they need them. If not that we able be to the people them, let me do them. Right? And let we continue, let we educate other one that we don't know much about sickle cell. They say, well, you know better, you're supposed to do better, right? All what we do is so today, now we don't know better. Let we do better. Let we self continue for, let we begin educate the one that we don't know, right? Even we picking them, we auntie them, we uncle them,
Yeah.
we mama them, let we educate them. Auntie uncle them back home. When they say anytime they hear about sickle cell, they don't begin holy eye and begin to say
Yeah.
bad thing.
Like
Let
early
we
death or something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let we
No.
educate them, do ya? It go be better for we picking them and we grand picking them for tomorrow, yeah? And
Well,
until me co-host them, they're not there today, by God power next week they all go there, so then go dog release them from outside and go fast in. Iyamide, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
oh, that's fine. That's okay because really education is the key really because so
It
much
is. It is.
can be got through education and blood donation. Then I want to everyone say those that can give blood,
That's right.
yeah, please give
That's
blood.
right.
Because you
That's
never
right.
know when you will want blood, and the reason why
That
you
is
have
true.
blood is because other people are donating blood.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah. The black community in Aya only about 2%. That I don't know what it's like in America, but in England, oh, they're not they give blood. The black
The
community.
black as a whole or the Africans?
No,
Black as
well,
a whole.
black would be Asian and yeah,
Okay.
not just Caribbeans. Yeah. They don't. Not enough people give blood. No. That make we get this campaign with the NHS or make more black people give blood.
It's low now, yeah, so but I don't think it's that low. I don't know the
Mm,
exact number, but
mm,
I know that
mm.
low now, yeah.
They don't give blood.
Yeah.
But then you go to hospital if you need a blood transfusion, you get blood. And the key thing, wait, just is that as I may say earlier, when the blood is matched, it's much better. And
Mm-hmm.
there's certain blood groups that only is more prevalent in black people. You see, there's a certain blood group. I think it's
Yeah.
called RO or something. Not your usual OBA. It's called R or something. Where
Mm-hmm.
it's prevalent in the ethnic black people. So
People
and
there.
it will match better. You see,
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's a lot. But
It is a lot. Thank you so much, Iyamide. I hope
You're
say you go
welcome.
join me next week, and I
Mhm.
will reach out to you back for come back. Now, yeah, so I don't know if I for do this, but you not go believe boku more comments then don't come back.
So
But
how
not
me
the
go
same
see?
in
Okay,
all. Go in when we
okay,
don't done.
on
Just go
YouTube.
on
Yeah,
YouTube,
and
look for
scroll.
Yard Road, and yes, go under there. You will see all the comments. Them respond to as many comments as
Okay,
if you able get
Agoibo. Now
answer
that's
to them.
Agoibo
Yes,
just going there.
do
Okay,
that.
no, that would be good.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
Thank
good.
you so much.
Yeah, that'd
Thank
be
you
good.
so much.
No, you're
Family
welcome.
them,
We will catch up.
family them. I'm so glad you wanna join me and wanna hang in there today. Oh, we get plenty views today. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I
wanna
hope
hang
that that's
in there with
what
me.
say
Yes,
people join. Yeah,
yes,
some
yes.
of
Oh
the
yes,
names.
then join.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
then
That's
join.
good.
So wanna continue for hanging there with me until God agree. We all meet back next week. We'll go get plenty more comments them and we'll all go interact back. Una not forget to we get Facebook page as well. Una go in and
With it.
like the page, follow the page, comment anything we wanna want. Thank you very much, family them. Until we see back next week, this is Morenike. They say tata.